Hello friendos, so today we're going to be talking about Throne and Liberty. As you can see here, you scroll down the MMORPG subreddit and you notice this thread has 462 comments. Why? Why is there 462 comments? Well, because it's about an upcoming MMO, and this upcoming MMO has the typical, Korean things in it. And it's one that I'm going to be playing. So let's look. Why are people mad? Why you have to be mad is only game. So the first screenshot, this comes from apparently Ginger Prime, a YouTuber. It's not 100% confirmed, but this is what people were saying about the Throne and Liberty Alpha. And this is somebody's just text summary. So Alpha was 2 weeks long, enjoyed the whole 2 weeks. Imagine that. Playing an MMO in 2023 and enjoying it. Who the fuck are you? No, you didn't. MMORPGs suck. This one's going to suck. You're actually a bad person for enjoying this game. Signed, MMORPG subreddit. So the world is huge. Would expect no less if you play Black Desert Online. That game is... Let's just talk about this real quick. MMOs have problems typically. Korean MMOs have lots of problems typically. One thing that Korean MMOs usually do, though, is they have a pretty nice world. And if you take out all the bad shit about Black Desert Online, which I do think the game is almost unrecognizable now in terms of bad shit compared to how it was at the very beginning, they've done away with a lot of the bad stuff, and people have an opinion of what it was. And what it is now is pretty different. I might go back and revisit it, since this is a pretty common trend with the game that started a couple of years ago with the... what did they call it? The new marketplace? I can't even remember what it's called. And then the seasons and things like that. They've made catch up pretty much super easy, and you can just buy stuff instead of doing the enhancement and things. But one thing you cannot take away from Black Desert Online, it has a fucking fantastically designed in terms of looks and scale game world. BDO's game world is massive. It's great to look at. It's great to traverse, and it's something that MMOs should do more of. So, Throne and Liberty having a huge world, not surprised, something I'm looking forward to. Mob levels don't scale, they are zone leveled. Thank fuck, WoW sucks. A bit of an editor's note there. So, there's two ways to look at mob level scaling. One is making the game world and content you've designed useful always, and also so that it's got basically people playing there so the game doesn't look dead. Because usually an MMO skews towards people being in the, 2/3 of progression of the game and not in the first third. So what that would mean is if you don't have mega servers where you're clumping people based on what level they are and things like that, you'll have zones where it doesn't feel like an MMO because the game's dead. There's nobody in those zones because there's no reason to be there. Whereas if you have level scaling, people have a reason to be there. But it does come with the disconnect of feeling powerful by being able to go back to places where things were, lower level than you, and being able to kill them way easier because they're all just the same level as you at all times. I personally don't like level scaling. I'd prefer you to go in one zone and it's this level, and then you go to the next zone and it's the next level. I personally don't like to go in every zone and they're all just as strong as me. I'm not a fan of it. I like the power dynamic. I like the feeling of progression, and I personally prefer this, although I've seen a lot of people that don't, so mileage will vary on that one. Day and night cycle, mobs spawning at different times, and then it gives an example of a BDO zone where mobs spawn at night but not in day, or something like that. I don't personally care about this all too much. I think in general, limiting what people can do at certain times of the day, depending on their schedule, it depends really how long the night-day cycle is, really, to be honest, because if it's going to be a long time, that means sometimes people on their time zone won't be able to do the stuff when they want to do it, which I'm not a huge fan of. But at the same time, if it's an online game that's trying to be a living, breathing world, it makes sense, and it's a cool mechanic for those of us that do have the time. Though, of course, can be problematic. Zero loading screens, good. Big open world, awesome. Fast travel home base, kind of like a Hearthstone, cool. Probably needed if the game world is huge, although Black Desert Online went through a long time without having teleports or anything like that. And I do tend to prefer that, but ease of access, probably a good thing. Can easily use the movement, grapple, gliding, grapple, no cooldown. So probably going to be a little bit of a skill element And if travel does work with grappling and gliding and it's seamless, it's probably going to feel really good and really cool. So awesome. Fast travel costs gold. Don't like fast travel personally in games like this, but it has it. So there you go. Premium currency gems awarded for daily logins. I don't like this, but getting premium currency for just playing the game seems like a good thing. Although you can obviously look at something like this and be like, yeah, I don't like being forced to log in, especially if it's daily. I'd prefer games that do stuff like this to do it weekly, because then if you can only play on weekends, you don't feel like you're being fucked over by not being able to play during the week. But it's one of those things that doesn't impact me. I just see that it may have problems for some people. Party is 6 people, a little bit out of the ordinary, but cool, I guess. I have no opinions on that. Character level and weapon level, expected LTS, fuck, go. I don't know what this means. Character level and weapon level. I assume your character level's up and then you can also level up weapons. And then presumably you swap into the weapons, and the weapons what determine like what your skills are going to be. I'm not sure how to feel about this. It can be done in good ways. It can be done in bad ways. I typically prefer just normal traditional MMO, level up your skills, have your talents or whatever, but we'll have to wait and see, because without seeing it and feeling it, I have no idea. Progression feels slow and grindy to level. Korean MMO. Expect any different? Your expectations were the problem. Level 1, start with 4 abilities. Not bad, I guess. Better than auto attack and maybe 1 ability from WoW back in the day. So next screenshot. No global cooldown. Holy fuck, this guy seems very excited about some things, life in general. I mean, I'm from England. We don't do excitement in England. So I'll just say, cool, I guess. No global cooldown. Again, it just depends on how it feels. Instant weapon swaps cooldown is skill-based, no global cooldown. Weapon skills cooldown continue even when weapons swapped. Good. Was it New World that did this, where you'd use your skill and then it was the weapon swap, right? It shared cooldowns between the swaps, so it was like kind of pointless to even do. God, that was fucking awful. Weapon sets described as builds, 4 total weapons. So this is a little bit hard to follow. 4 total weapons that you can have, or 4 in the game, because they give an example of staff, wand and book, and then daggers. I assume there's got to be more. There's got to be more than that, right? So I assume it means you can have 4. Who knows? 200 staff is damage, 1 and book have healing abilities, skills are weapon based. You can run with 2 daggers, both weapon sets having different weapons. Yeah, this is a little bit confusing. So rarity is your typical grey, green, blue and purple. For blue and purple you need blueprints, and then I assume as the game goes on, or maybe it's in the game and they just didn't see it during the alpha test, they have like legendaries or whatever, or reds, which is common in let's say BDO. Bind on equip, so items are tradable. Cool, like that. Would prefer just non-bind in general, but bind on equip works as well. I assume this will be on a marketplace, not direct trading, because Korean games typically don't have direct trading, so they can sell you cash shop stuff instead of you being able to give people stuff and then transfer money on third party. They don't like trading, because that means they're competing with gold sellers, and they want to be the gold sellers. Pets have abilities and can heal you, same as BDO. Presumably you buy these. Let's be real, Korean MMO, probably going to buy them. Auto battle is in the game, but it's really weak. Okay, so now I see why there were so many comments. Oh boy, this is going to be an interesting one. So I've played a lot of games that have had auto combat. There's a reason why Korean games do this, and it's to basically make it look like they've got a ton of people playing the game, even when they're not. It just gives them great like usage statistics of people being in the game. And also, aside from that, sunk cost. You're less likely to quit a game when you can just leave it on in the background and it just plays for you, even if it's a massively diminished rate, because you just think, why not? And then you never truly quit. So then when a new update comes out, or when you get pulled in by something or whatever else, you're more likely to continue playing, which means you're more likely to continue paying, which is why they do this. It's just a sunk cost simulator. Auto combat for enemies at least 5 levels below you, auto pathing, base auto attack similar to WoW. So this just means click things, it auto attacks, and then you press your skills. In terms of auto battle, I hate it. I fucking hate it. Auto pathing, it's not the biggest deal in the world to me. I don't like it. But is it going to stop me playing a game? No. Auto battle, BDO already has this in a different way. They have the fucking auto fishing. You can do AFK overnight, which people do. And then they, of course, have the like scarecrows that you can attack, the training dummies or whatever to get skill points or actual experience for your character. Do I like this? No. No, of course I know. It's a fucking mobile game thing. Elion also had this, I believe. Is it going to stop me playing the game? No, I'm just not going to do it. I'm just not going to leave my computer on to fucking basically turn myself into a bot to keep up with the neckbeards. I'll just not do that. Not all abilities root you. Most are movement / let you move. Cool. Highest level in alpha was level 60. Great. Crafting not as good as New World, but it's in the game. Cool. No auto gathering. At least that's one thing, I guess. Inventory is weight-based and can be increased probably by money. Yeah, I mean, it's a fucking MMO in 2023. I don't even think this one needed to be said. I'm so far not surprised at all. Them having AFK mechanics, not surprising. An actual auto battle that's going to be running around the game world killing stuff, a little bit more surprising. But I imagine you're only going to be able to do this in certain areas because there is open world PvP. So I don't imagine you're going to be running around auto-killing stuff while you're in bed having a wank to some hentai or something, because some fucking other neckbeard's probably just going to kill you while wearing his, like, $40 cash shop cosmetic that makes his waifu look great. Definitely not projecting what's going to happen here or anything. Auto-loot, yeah, probably by the pets, right? It makes sense, that's a typical thing. Controller feels very smooth, so you can play with controller if you're a fucking loser. Graphics and cutscene is really good. I'm sorry. Using controller is fine. I'm just trying to insert a little bit of humor into this incredibly dry video. Graphics and cutscene is really good. Cool. Amazing. Guild similar to BDO system with payments, etc. Guild auction house. Guild has bonuses. So if you've not played BDO, I'll explain this to you. It's a weird system. Basically, you do stuff and money that belongs to nobody gets deposited in your guild account. And then the guild leader can do payouts, basically like, oh, you've been a good boy today, Steve, so you get 2 million silver. And you've been a naughty boy, John, so you only get 1 million silver. So it's basically a way to just dole out money to people that have contributed. Like, oh, we attacked this castle and we took it and it gave us tons and tons of money, and therefore we're going to give money out to everybody, and then the rest of the money we're going to use on, you know, whatever guild stuff we need. Not a bad system. I think a little bit underutilized in Black Desert, but I've not played in probably 2 years now, so I don't know what else they've done to it, but cool, I guess. And then Guild Auction House for traded items and things. Cool. Sounds good. Although I would just prefer, of course, being given the agency as a human adult to be able to trade to other people. But of course, we can't do that. You know, slap my wrist for thinking so crazy. Open world dungeon monster gets harder the deeper you go. Same. I also get harder the deeper I go. The dungeons have currency, but that is cool. That is cool. I do like that. Dungeons have currency to give you more XP. You farm mobs open world for currency, then use that currency in dungeons for more XP. This system means it's best to do both instead of just one. Cool. So there's always a reason to be out in the world. Then there's a reason to go into dungeons for probably a certain amount of time. Probably a balancing act in terms of, well, balancing, but we'll see. Some zones are PvP, some are PvE. Yeah, of course. Open world PvP confirmed, but boss is PvE only, same as BDO. Auction house exists. Yeah, of course it does. Character creation is crazy good. Super big thighs and titties. Okay, good. Yeah, good. No nude, Sag, Pepe hands. And then they say, regarding auto combat, it's exactly what I expected. It cannot be used on monsters the same level as you or you will die. It is intended for AFK of monsters at least 5 levels lower than you, for some AFK experience while asleep and working. Since, as mentioned in the above points, the game is a Korean game, is extremely grindy. The beta for the Korean is from May 24th to May 30th. Amazon expected to announce a global beta NAEU JP shortly after. I'm praying June, but I guess we shall soon see. Global release will be moved to the second half of 2023, expected to be on October 2023. If anyone who works for NCSoft is watching this video, let me in the Korean beta, let me try out the game, that would be cool. I've had this before, where companies like Kakao have reached out and given me access to a Korean VPN and a Korean account. so I could try out the game. Did it for Alien, I think, back before that released in the West. So I would love to check this out. I'm just not going to go through the trouble of fucking around getting, some Korean's details and some weird shit. So I would only do it officially. Auto combat, auto pathing, Korean MMO, NC Soft plus Amazon. Yeah, this game is going to suck. I don't think the game's going to suck because of that. I think this is mostly ignorable shit. Like, you can ignore this. Auto pathing, it's not the biggest deal in the world. I'd prefer to go back to when you just did everything yourself on your character, but it's not going to kill the game for me. Korean MMO, again, if it's a good game, it's a good game. People said this same shit about BDO. BDO's still going and is still one of the most popular and successful MMOs, and there's a reason for that. It's actually a good game if you can look past some things that are a problem for you, but not always a problem for everybody else. NCSoft, yeah. Amazon, yeah. To look at some other ones. Not a fan of the auto combat stuff. I don't think many people are going to be a fan of it. It's fucking shy. Let's be real. It's not a good feature. But it is, again, just there so that you stay playing the game, because it's harder to quit when it's in your taskbar just waiting for you. You can just open it up. You're way more likely to continue playing than if you didn't log in for a couple of weeks. If I don't log in for a couple of weeks to a game, I'll probably be playing other stuff. It's not in my daily brain to like open it and look at it and what's it doing. Do I need to empty my bags? Do I need to do this? You're essentially still on the game. Whereas with WoW, if I don't log in for 2 weeks, I just play something else and I'm never opening it. I'm never thinking about the game. So that's what it's for. I don't like it, but I see why it exists and it works, I guess. Almost everything described as a downside to me, this is one I'll skip. Fair enough, yeah. Paying for inventory, no thanks, man. Imagine paying for inventory in an MMO in fucking 2023. Pretty much all MMOs do this. Even like Final Fantasy, which is one of the better monetized games, sells you like the fucking auction house little bots or whatever that you use. I think World of Warcraft, and obviously that's different because it's a subscription mandatory game to play. I think WoW is one of the only MMOs that doesn't sell you inventory. Old school RuneScape, I guess. I don't know what RuneScape 3 is like, but they have their own problems, of course. Elder Scrolls Online sells inventory, right? And the subscription as well. Guild Wars sells inventory. I'm pretty sure. I've not played it in a long time, but I think it does. Even fucking like non-MMOs, like Path of Exile sells stash tabs. Like BDO, all Korean MMOs sell inventory. It's just, I don't like it, of course. I'm just saying it's super prevalent, so I don't know what games you're going to be playing in the MMO genre if that's a no for you. Auto battle, auto pathing, they can fuck right off. Not playing. The point of playing a video game is to play the game, not watch it play itself fucking stupid, then just don't. This is one of those things that's like, if you're setting your thing to auto battle, you're doing it to go AFK. You're not like, it's not going to be more efficient to auto battle and then sit and watch it, is it? And if you're at your computer and you're not getting up to go piss or fucking jerk your dick, you're not going to need auto pathing, are you? You can just not. I understand not liking it, but not for this reason. Like, the point of playing a video game is to play the game, not watch it play. So you're not gonna be, unless you choose to, in which case you're playing inefficiently. It's always going to be faster to run somewhere yourself than to follow a set path that the game dictates for you with auto-pathing. If you played any MMO that has this, you know this to be true. So this just seems like a not... I understand not liking it, but that seems like just a knee-jerk non-point to not like something. There's plenty of other reasons you could give that are absolutely valid as to why you don't like it. Even just, I don't like this would be a valid point, other than something that just is a problem with your own creation. But there we go. Details about Throne and Liberty. I'm obviously not fucking mega excited for this news. But there's some cool details in there. There's some stuff that I do like. And I do expect that the game is going to be somewhat good. People seem to be liking it that have played it. And hopefully I do as well. It could be a couple weeks game. It could be a couple months game. It could be a couple years game of just fun that you get to have. But obviously I'm going to look at the comments after this. And most people are going to be like, lol, Korea, lol, this... fucking auto stuff, lol. When will you learn? When will you stop having fun? Stop liking things that we don't. Don't play MMOs, they suck. All valid points, of course, but yeah, we'll see how it is, and I'll see you on the next video. Peace out.